As the UCI Women's World Tour peloton becomes more and more professional, the equipment the teams use is evolving rapidly. There is a lot of time, money and effort spent on innovation of bikes, wheels, computers, helmets and clothing. Every year we see new gear introduced, and here we take a look at some of it. One of the most discussed innovations are disc brakes.
Well, disc brakes is the future, so the industry right now is just pushing forward to it. So this year almost all the teams are on disc brakes for the men. The girls, this year we are some, the next year will be almost all of them. And what to say? They are, they have a lot of advantages regarding the classical rim brakes, above all on the carbon rims and with bad weather conditions. So yeah, it's a good improvement. They also already have done a very good improvement regarding the first versions, the Campagnolo, SRAM and Shimano. Yeah, and I think that the newer versions that they are gonna release the following years will be even better. So yeah, it's quite interesting working with that.
We were given the option by Canyon because they're already using disc brakes, but for us it wasn't a priority at the start of this year because we already had everything adapted for the normal brakes. Like you see, if not, you gotta change everything. And what we don't want to do is to mix and have disc brakes and normal brakes. So for this season we're staying with normal brakes, but we know in the future probably we'll have to take the decision and go for disc brakes because it's also really interesting for Canyon. But at the same time the girls are really happy with the normal brakes, so I think for us it's not a problem and we'll go step by step, and probably next year you start seeing us using disc brakes sometimes. It's obviously different, and even more when there's wet conditions, but I have to say that for us the brakes that we have at the moment, we have no complaints and we've had no problems until now, so far so good for us. It's obviously a step forward probably to go with the disc brakes. They're also heavier, the bikes are heavier, but you know how much the brands are investing on making the bikes lighter, and they're probably going to be lighter in the future, and we're going to be able to have light bikes with disc brakes, which is also really important for us.
We're going to go up a pretty big climb, and yeah, like we also have the Scott foils, and they're just a little bit heavy because of the disc brakes, but yeah, like this bike is so light. It's just, I was putting it on with TT, and the guy was like, ooh, 6.85, ooh, and then I had to take off my Wahoo because he was like, oh, it might be too light, but it was just on point, so as light as possible, so yeah.
Aerodynamics are super important for a rider, so nothing must be overlooked, even helmets.
Aerodynamics get more and more important. Every watt you save is important for speed in the final. And yeah, it's good to have those products, and those are developed so well that, well, of course the helmet is fast. You don't really feel that it's much faster, but it's nice to have a bike and a helmet and everything and gloves, and that it's ready and you feel, okay, I'm ready for this race.
Since the UCI Women's World Tour is raced from February till October, weather conditions vary enormously, making the innovation of clothing possibly the most visible of these technological advances.
How do they compare with the other jerseys that are supplied by Santini?
Yeah, they are lighter and a bit more fresh. Well, it's hot anyway. I mean, doesn't matter what you wear, it will be hot. But these jerseys are a bit more comfortable also because they are not that stretched, so it's a bit more, it feels like a bit more air to breathe in, and almost like you wear nothing, but the jerseys are really comfortable.
Clothing manufacturer Santini invest huge amounts of time and effort to give riders the best of the best, and have garments especially designed for the female body and differing weather conditions.
We had the surprise to get like some new stuff when we arrived in the Giro. I think Santini really knew well that the Giro will be super hot this year, so we got this new suit which is really thin and really suiting for a really hot temperature. The pants are really like opened, and I got some tan lines through them. So it's really light, and you can feel it also when you get some ice into your bike or into your back, or if you get some water onto your body. It goes really through immediately, and it's really refreshing. It's really nice.